Alrighty, hello and welcome back to a late night dino, continuing this absolutely fantastic trend of ramping into some bigger, heavier hitter dinos that I haven't used quite so much in the past, but they are impactful, very, very meaningful stuff. Ooh, got some different ones tonight, nothing too crazy, but still wanting to keep those expensive things going. Something even more fantastic and aggressive tonight with Gishath, Sun's Avatar, the other legendary Naya Dino. Yeah, I guess that's what you would say. Fantastic in Commander, quite a bit. Vigilance, Trample, Haste, lovely aggression there, but we're hoping to hit at least a few dinosaurs. Whenever Gishath, Sun's Avatar, deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library, put any number of dino creature cards from among them onto the battlefield. Bam. Oh, excuse me. Pretty self-explanatory there. That can be very, very explosive, a game-ending. Zacama also can be fairly game-ending, but Gishath does cost one less than Zacama, can get hopefully, multiple bodies off that, and it's going to be a good night. I did do 3 copies. I was thinking of 4, but 3 definitely should be absolutely plenty to see, hopefully, at least a few times. Zacama as well. Zetalpa, oh, that would be lovely, hitting Zetalpa, plus a Carnage Tyrant, all kinds of big stuff. But even if we only grab, a mixture of Wayward Swordtooth and Topiary Stomper off of Gishath, that would still be pretty decent for sure. Even if it was just 1 Topiary, 1 Wayward Swordtooth, that'd still be good. Mana base, again, nothing too crazy. Gishath, because it is a dino, we're making full use of Secluded Courtyard to quite easily cast these late game things that do require white. Of course, if I was playing some dinos or something else that needed white and it was a little bit cheaper, something that costs 2, 3, maybe 4, I would probably put in even more sources, but by the time I get enough to cast Zacama or Gishath or Zetalpa, I would imagine I have some combination. Turn 6, turn 7, something like that. Hopefully they come down even sooner, but sometimes that doesn't quite happen. Sideboard, nothing too crazy. Something at instant speed, deals damage. Help us take out Greasefang for Greasefang vehicles. Winota, Joiner of Forces. Redcap Melee last night was absolutely fantastic, but some of you guys suggested Tameo Safekeeping, so that's back in to hopefully keep the dream alive, keep some of these early plays going, and if we do land one of the big heavy hitters, it's going to be lovely protecting that with Tameo Safekeeping. Anger of the Gods, just 3 tonight, so a decent amount of interaction with Reckless Rage, Anger. Rampaging Ferocidon, as always. Stop the life gain. It's got to be in there somewhere. Trapjaw Raptor. Very, very nice stuff. Yeah, that's about it. Hope we get a Gishath. Hope we get a bunch of dinos. A nice mixture. And let's go. I do have to grab my coffee 1 second, but I'll jump into the first match here. And oh, we're not in Explore Play. Best of 3, Explore Ranked, DINOLAND. Let's do it. And I know the art tonight. Some of you may know that artwork. It is from Star of Extinction, the absolutely fantastic board wipe. Deal 20 damage to each creature and each planeswalker, and you destroy a land for 5 and 2 red. I was thinking of adding it just mainly because I'm using the art for tonight's thumbnail. I'm still thinking about it. It's pretty satisfying seeing the animation, a giant meteorite just come floating down and explode the whole board. Possibly giving us a chance if we don't have too many dinos. Maybe we only have 1, and on their side is just a swarm of nasty things. Star of Extinction can do the trick, and costing 7, again, it shouldn't be too hard to cast that with something like this ramp-focused variation. But I'll be back 1 second. Oh, I was going to say, it's taken a while to find a worthy opponent for all these big dinos, but they finally got it. Daniel. Daniel and Goliath, I guess. Perhaps I'm somewhat like Goliath. Hopefully that scenario goes a little bit differently with this game. Any day now. I actually fell asleep a little bit just before I started tonight. I almost didn't get going right at 9:30, but here we are. And that could definitely work. Just because it is game 1, I don't know what they're all about. Yeah. That should be good. Oh, I'm seeing a temple garden, so that is making me think it could be... Oh, it's Winota. I think that definitely has to be Winota. I'm actually going to go Sheltered Thicket. I feel they may have something that they wanted to do with that 2 mana just because they didn't play anything. Could have been potentially holding up some sort of removal, possibly. Luckily they haven't gone too fast. They didn't just go off and get the turn 3 Winota and we just lose in that scenario. As long as we can take this game from them, we should have a pretty good chance with Reckless Rage, Anger of the Gods, 100%. That is going to be very, very helpful. Ooh, Brutal Cathar, that is... Oh, that's brutal. It's not too bad. I mean, we didn't really have anything to play next turn. At the very least, we do see a Carnage Tyrant. Should provide a pretty big headache, but they could also just go Winota right here, unfortunately. Oh, nuts. Well, that's a good hit. Yes, indeed. Well, we're not recovering, unfortunately. We don't have Anger of the Gods to hopefully slow things down. Pretty much the same, Blue Bear. How's it going? How's it going? I do have... I'll show it for you right here. Everything's fairly the same. There is an extra copy of Cultivate to help ramp a little bit faster. But tonight is 3 copies of Gishath. I think it's going to be pretty fantastic. I'm in these colors. So ramping, getting to another pretty fantastic payoff with this dino. I did mention Zacama, Gishath, the classic pairing for dinosaur commanders. Either one of those two. I think Gishath might be a little bit more popular. Other than that, nothing too crazy. 4 Carnage Tyrant. Sideboard, we still got, well, definitely I need the interaction to help against Winota here. From a little bit off the top. Still some nice, fantastic heavy hitters, but still want to keep things going pretty nicely early on. Keep these interaction spells here. Definitely prioritizing Reckless Rage. Let's see. 1 Carnage Tyrant. Alrighty. You know what? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna keep it just because it's absolutely fantastic if Marauding Raptor sticks around. Lots of card draw. Hopefully Trapjaw Raptor helps us draw a little bit more into at least one of those Reckless Rages. Oh, that is definitely not Marauding Raptor. Hopefully Marauding sticks around for at least a turn, or otherwise things, it's going to be a little rough. Oh, there's the anchor. That would have been fantastic, but hopefully they haven't got Winota this turn. They definitely, what they do. Nuts. Oh yes, oops is right. They thought it was going to sacrifice that treasure, and it did not. We will be taking a decent amount of damage. 6, it's not too bad, but blocking this Prosperous Innkeeper, definitely, that hopefully should help. Yes, yes, Misty, it's live, not a premiere. I do remember your suggestion there, how I was always going live and then making it private and then premiering the episode later on. So for quite a while now, I've basically just left them up, gone live, trying to schedule at least one day ahead, and things have worked out quite nicely. Pretty much it's got to be Anger of the Gods. Actually, it could be Wayward Swordtooth still. We'll get to 3 lands, playing an extra one, and we'll see what they do. If they want to block anything. Oh, they don't. That's alright. We're taking out a decent amount of stuff. Hopefully, it's enough to help. It may not be, though. Ooh, the Reckless Rage. I like it. Definitely, it's got to be another Trapjaw. That's going to be fantastic blocking-wise. I should be taking out Winota. I think we may be able to get it done. Certainly the Gilded Goose is not going to block the lone Trapjaw there. They want to preserve some non-human stuff. Hopefully they don't have a hexproof indestructible. Okay. I have thought about that. Weathered Runestone, I believe. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too much for great. Oh, well, that is rough. Well, they had another copy, and usually, well, that's the case. They have the 4 full copies, but yeah, going back to your comment, Misty, Weathered Runestone, I believe, is the card you're thinking of. Oh, that one. If you control a creature with power, Leafkin Avenger? Something Leafkin. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, I think it's Weathered Runestone, Misty. I'll pull it up for you and we'll see. I did try it out a little bit. Definitely, it does help quite a bit against Winota, Greasefang, anything graveyard related, certainly. And it is better than Grafdigger's Cage, because Grafdigger's only stops creatures in graveyards and libraries from entering the battlefield, where Weathered Runestone, even though it costs 1 extra, or twice as much, it stops non-land permanents. So Greasefang, the artifacts, vehicles that they're trying to cheat out with that deck. But definitely something to consider. It is uncommon. Likely all of us have at least a few copies, even if we don't have a single. Chances are we got 4 uncommon wildcards lying around to at least redeem. Try out this potentially fantastic shutdown for that deck. I have opted for that instant speed interaction with Reckless Rage there to hopefully take out Winota. But that was not meant to be, unfortunately. That's alright, Winota. She does fantastic stuff, and sometimes there's just not a whole lot you can do. Something versatile, though, is probably better to have it in game 1 than not. I run the risk, like we had there, getting caught out with Winota and not having a whole lot or anything to really take her out. If and when they do get her, maybe turn 3, turn 4. Something versatile that may not be dead, may not be a dead draw or a dead card if you're facing a deck without many creatures fighting. Something versatile. That's not good either. 2 mountains, the previous hand, a mountain and a plains. Okay, well, that's going to be it. Geshath, it's got to be, unfortunately. Well, Rakdos colors, that certainly shouldn't be Winota. Hopefully they don't discard the Topiary there. Paulo, how's it going? How's it going? Oh, they got Obnoxious Obnixilis coming down next turn, I would think. That's going to be rough. Really makes me wish I had Redcap Melee, in which last night, again, did fantastic work. Paulo, if you saw it, Redcap Melee, 1 red, instant speed, deal 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If the permanent is non-red, you have to sacrifice a land. Obnixilis is a red planeswalker, Winota. Okay, so it's not Obnixilis. Whew, I actually feel quite fortunate about that turn of events. You know what, I'm going to cycle this Sheltered Thicket. Yeah, good stuff. I was hoping for a play. Next turn, Carnage Tyrant. If Marauding Raptor dies, I still get it. Hopefully Marauding is sticking around. Oh, yes. I may be reconsidering taking that out completely. Ooh, that is... You know what that calls for? The Crying Dino. But, you know, I got the full 4 copies of Carnage Tyrant. Hopefully seeing that again sometime soon. Looks like they want to kill Marauding Raptor. Ooh. Next turn, a land would be quite fantastic. Cultivate actually would be pretty much, that's the thing I'd be hoping for. Looks like they're hoping to do something. Certainly don't have to be too worried about Topiary and Wayward. Could just be dead here, unfortunately, since both of those guys, they can't block at the moment. Yeah, if I do get Cultivate, that would get me to 10 permanents, more than 7 lands for Topiary. So I'd be able to hold off on some of this good aggression that they have going on at the moment. Just one. Well, I mean, it wasn't the best game in the world, that's for sure. But it's Rakdos. And it's got a bunch of somewhat smaller creatures. Anger of the Gods definitely should be quite fantastic here. Taking out Tenacious Underdog, Graveyard Trespasser, all that stuff. But that was fairly painful. That's right though. We'll switch Shifting Ceratops with Ripjaw Raptor. Lots of little creatures. Ripjaw is going to be a pretty good deterrent for some of their aggression. Tamios could come in pretty strong. Quite important. Trim a little bit off the top again. One Carnage. Carnage Tyrant, definitely. That's going to be a menace if we can get at least one of those down. Yes, definitely. You see something like Redcap Melee where you have to sacrifice a land if you're hitting a non-red. But last night it was good. Absolutely. 100%. It's nice showcasing something that, you know, has a pretty strong drawback. But 100% you see it in action. That always helps. It helps me at least. But also it doesn't have to be Redcap Melee necessarily. It could be something like Fry, which I did highlight last night a little bit there. But for anybody that doesn't know, Fry is 1 and a red, instant speed, can't be countered. You deal 5 damage to target white or blue creature or planeswalker. Lovely, lovely stuff there. Looks like they're going to be discarding probably Topiary Stomper. Maybe Cultivate. Yeah. Hopefully they don't have the double Thoughtseize and Cultivate is saying goodbye. Maybe they're thinking of using another Thoughtseize for the Cultivate. Waiting till we get something a little bit bigger, potentially, to get rid of another creature. Croaks, it's not too bad. Definitely I'll get rid of one of these Tamios. Hopefully I'm able to at least keep one in hand for future turns when they likely discard some more stuff. Big Mechs, Paulo, very good stuff. I do like Big Mechs myself. Oh, double Cultivate. This could actually be not too bad. Going the next Cultivate. Yes, indeed. But I think if they have a Thoughtseize, they probably want to use it. Perhaps I could use dinos and big mechs, some combination. It's kind of funny to think about a dinosaur driving a robot. That'd make it work though. That could also be something for an April Fool's list, which, I mean, I know the next April Fool's is quite some ways away, but if it does involve dinos, I could probably be persuaded to make a mecha dino vehicle super combination. I've never actually thought about it until now, but vehicle dinos driving the opponent wild.
After 1,000 years,
like Obnixilis drives us wild.
a new you work for me now, Runt.
I feel it's probably got to be... I'm thinking Cultivate. Yeah, let's get the Ripjaw just in case they want to discard some stuff. They'll never waste removal on Ripjaw with Tamio safekeeping there.
Your punishment is my entertainment.
Oh yes, the wolf and dinos. That is quite good. Yes, indeed. Alright, we got plenty of land, so... do I need a source of white? I'll get one more source of white. Yeah. Right, let's pressure Obnixilis. They're going to use somebody to block, so it will be nice taking out both creatures. Gaining a little bit of life. And it looks like they forgot about the fact of Tamio's safekeeping. Hey, David, how's it going? How's it going?
Go ahead. Plead for mercy.
Things are going pretty good. I will have to translate that, though. Is that, Spanish? I mean, it's a little rough at the moment. Always rough whenever you're facing the brand new, fantastic Obnixilis. Luckily, they didn't have another creature out when they cast it, so they would go Casualty X and get 2 copies right from the start. Continue to make us discard, lose life. It's definitely downhill quick. Yes, Blue Bear. Basically, I would say I traded Tamiyo's, or I traded Redcap Melee for Tamiyo's to help protect, and luckily it worked out in saving Trapjaw Raptor there. But hopefully they let Marauding survive. Maybe draw something good, something big with this Oh, hey. Didn't even need to worry about it. But we still have to worry about Obnixilis there. Yeah. Redcap Melee. That may be mandatory. Something that also hits Planeswalkers. Of course, it's nice being able to not just take out Obnixilis, but Teferi, of course, the Wandering Emperor. Excuse me. Both of those things. Oh, hopefully multiple things, if depending on the spell. Now, there is something called Storm's Wrath. Lovely sweeper. It costs 2 and 2 red. And it deals 4 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. And there are lots of dinos, a fair bit at the moment, that would survive 4 damage. Trapjaw, especially, would be lovely. But there is Wayward Swordtooth. Now, if I was going with Storm's Wrath, which I think would be actually quite valid, 4 damage to everything, including planeswalkers, that'd be good. To have something else that also survives that damage. We would still lose Topiary Stomper, unfortunately, and of course, still all the little guys, that doesn't change, but Storm's Wrath is definitely something I think you guys should check out. If you have enough things that survive the 4 damage, but even if you don't, that can certainly reset things for pretty cheap. 2 and 2 red, that is good. But Reckless Rage, I feel that's going to be quite nice. Nah, Anger of the Gods should be enough. I may mulligan a little more aggressively for it just because there is so many things that are at 3 toughness or less. It's going to be hopefully pretty debilitating for the opponent. Ooh, that might be nice. Of course, there's a fairly high chance that Huntmaster may kick the can, eat some removal. Sayonara, Huntmaster. Oh, they might be going for the classic fantastic. Well, it's not really a classic at this point, but the turn 2 Tenacious Underdog into Obnixilis. That might happen. Oh, okay. I mean, it's still not so brave, but at least it wasn't the turn 2 Obnixilis. They got 2 Tenacious Underdogs, and things are going to get fairly out of control. Both of that. Hopefully, getting some nice body that can block soon. I haven't tried the Wandering Emperor with dinos yet. I think it would be a little restrictive, fairly hard to cast, requiring 2 white. I definitely would try it if probably if it only costs 1 white, so 3 and a white, but requiring 2 and 2 white, I think it's maybe a little bit too difficult. Ah, hey, Tamiyo's, save it. Alright. I may still have to block Tenacious Underdog, one of them. I may take it all, though. Yeah, I'm going to save at least 3 damage, but hoping, crossing my fingers for an Anger of the Gods, not. And the Bugbear's 4. Well, try for the Ripjaw. If they get another land with Den of the Bugbear, we are dead. Ouch. That was good. Yeah, they just got all those early Tenacious Underdogs where certainly Anger of the Gods would have helped out big time. Resetting things, stopping us. Yeah, Anger of the Gods definitely would have been quite helpful. But, well, I'll keep things as is for now. At the very least, we are highlighting how something like Redcap Melee, helping against Naya Winota, Fry as well. Yeah. The importance of that early interaction, which, not starting out with it game 1, that may possibly be a mistake at the moment in the meta. Probably a little too slow. If Carnage Tyrant was 2-drop, something like Otepec Huntmaster, Marauding Raptor, I think I might risk that. I'll probably risk this. Definitely it's a fair bit better having a bunch of 3-drops. Yeah, Gishath. I'm seeing Jingatha, so chances are it's probably not control. So hopefully I get that 3rd land here. Eventually. Ooh. Oh boy, that is rough. Rough indeed. Hopefully the second Delver there doesn't flip over, but even with plenty of lands, sometimes you don't draw them. It's bound to happen eventually. Oh, well, that might be a little bit too late. It's got to come in now. That's not going to do it. If I took the 2 damage, would take us to 6. Insectile Aberration would kill us, unfortunately. Both of them. That'd be exactly lethal. Anger of the Gods, yes indeed. It's going to be lovely. Shifting Ceratops, certainly with this matchup. Is it Drakes? Is it Phoenix? Again, haven't seen a whole lot of Insectile Aberration or Delver's Secrets, but I think that is replacing Dragon's Rage Chandler, which isn't legal in the Explorer format. At least that's what I expect. It's probably Delver's Secrets as a kind of a stand-in for that fantastic creature, Dragon's Rage Chandler. Gonna drop Huntmaster, actually. There is a lot of stuff that deals 2 damage. Again, facing any deck like this, they got lots of stuff. Play with fire, deals 2, a multitude of other things likely. So Huntmaster, oftentimes, he does not stick around very long. Zacama would be nice. One Tamios. Alright. Lots of interaction, Reckless Rage, Anger of the Gods. We'll get her done. Get her done. It's not super duper fast, but at least there is Topiary Stomper. Help get to the 4th land if I don't draw it. And there is only Marauding Raptor for 2, so... Oh, Reckless Rage. Very nice. Yeah, I like the looks of Topiary. That's going to be good. Oh, yes, please. I don't think they'll feel too threatened with Topiary that they would kill it with anything. But you never know, we could be surprised here. 2 Reckless Rages, though, that is going to be quite devastating. So I guess it's... is it Arcanist? Yeah. I'm okay putting it on top. Draw it next turn. We'll still be left with 1 mana for the Reckless Rage. Taking out the Dreadhorde Arcanist here. That is going to be lovely stuff. Get another land. Very good. I don't think I need to go for a white, definitely because I cut Zacama. I only have a few copies of Gishath in the list, so make red a little bit more consistent. See if they use anything again on Topiary Stomper. But definitely I want to get rid of Dreadhorde Arcanist. Nah, I'm just going to do it right now. Looks like it didn't hold up priority at all, so perhaps they don't have anything they can cast for 1 red? That's my guess, at least. Probably take out that Young Pyromancer, but seeing that it's a Izzet variation using Young Pyromancer, making lots of elemental tokens, little guys, Rampaging Ferocidon could be quite nice, chipping away a lot, actually. Especially if they get multiple Young Pyromancers, that's going to whittle down their life total whenever one of those tokens comes in. Huh, that is interesting. Certainly want to take out the Young Pyromancer. I expected something that dealt damage. Oh, Ripjaw. I kind of like that. Drawing stuff. I'm still having at least 1 left for Reckless Rage. If they play something big, it's going to be nice taking it out. Could be a Crackling Drake. I imagine there's some number of Crackling Drakes in here. Another Pyromancer. They got a lot of blue, so I could see a counterspell, bouncing. They want to do something to Ripjaw, though. You know what, I'm just going to take out the Pyromancer. Get some card draw, hopefully. That's not a counter spell that they can go with. Ooh, nuts. That is good. Well, you can't counter Carnage Tyrant, that's for sure. That would have been pretty good if they attacked the young Pyromancer there mistakenly. Being able to take that out. Slowing them down with all the little things that they're playing. Double Carnage Tyrant. I like the looks of that. Oh, I don't like the looks of that. They really like their deck, it seems. They're always nice, nice, nice. They have the one way to get rid of Carnage Tyrant. While it's on the stack, you can send a spell to the top or the bottom, or you can interact with something that can't be countered, has hexproof, because those abilities, they don't apply while the card is on the stack. So that is one way you can make stuff happen. I don't think we're quite dead yet, but yeah. Yeah, that is going to do it. Nuts. Anger of the Gods. Whew. That'd be good. A little more misses than hits tonight. That's all right. You're at least seeing what some additions or different things could do to help out in certain scenarios. Redcap, sweepers. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna look into Storm's Wrath. It would take out Winota, being she's at 4 toughness. Take out all the Obnixiluses. Obnixili, I guess it would be plural perhaps. No life, oh boy. I have no bets what this could be. Something nasty like control? Yeah, perhaps. Definitely I want to mulligan that. Well, that is infinitely worse, oh boy. I'm gonna risk it. I'm on the draw. Can hope for at least that second land. Ooh, the Thoughtseize, that is good. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying there, Blue Bear, but well, not drawing a second land can also be a little bit painful. A little bit late, unfortunately. Hopefully Huntmaster sticks around against a deck like this, though. That may not happen. Could be seeing Obnixilus this turn. Good old Bone Crusher. Alright, we got a shifting. We got a body. A buddy. Uh-oh. I think they want to kill it. Chandra will certainly do that. We haven't won quite yet. Rakdos Anvil. Very nasty stuff, yes indeed. Alright, well, I mean, I can save the shifting with Tamiyo, so gain 2 life, I might hold him off a little bit, but I'm thinking not having a sweeper interaction, nah. Definitely, I'll be trying that tomorrow night, making some tweaks here, because it's just not quite getting it done here. That's okay, though. Live and learn, always room for improvement, certainly appears like there could be some good room for improvement with tonight's list. Just never really getting to Gishath. Possibly having some of those bigger dinos as a nice payoff if we get to that point, but you got to interact earlier on. You got to interact a lot more than I'm doing with this list to at least give a chance to survive, see, hopefully, some of these nice heavy hitters, because not a whole lot is happening early game interaction wise. Tamiyo's, while it can be nice, Reckless Rage, at least starting out with that, or Fry, something like that, some sort of sweeper. What time are we at though? Oh, we're flying through the matches tonight. Yeah, that's our... Oh, I was going to bring in Anger of the Gods and Reckless Rage. Oops. But yeah, well, flying through the matches. Probably won't do 2 hours like last night. We'll see, though. The tides will turn. Things will get a little better. Eventually, one day. They have to. I mean, at least you're seeing the pain that can happen to dinos. I experience it, so, well, you guys experience it well, but I experience it firsthand, so you can learn how you might do better. Yeah, definitely. I am thinking that Tamiyo's safekeeping. I really think that's the big point here. At the very least, switching that out for better, some interaction, early interaction. Creature ramping, definitely. Just being as explosive as humanly possible. I think I'm going to keep that, actually. It could be a lot worse, hopefully, getting a second source of green to be able to play Topiary Stomper there. But, yeah, I could see more creature ramping, something like that, but Tamiyo's, I think that's probably the biggest point, the biggest takeaway, at least from tonight, switching Tamiyo's. Chances are, if Topiary Stomper or Wayward Swordtooth land, we're going to be gaining decent benefit from them anyways, getting an extra land, that sort of thing. But definitely I want to go Wayward Swordtooth this turn, because Jetmir's Garden, of course, that's a fantastic option as the second land for the turn due to Wayward. See? Like I was saying there, Topiary Stomper gets a land, Wayward Swordtooth. We already gained value from it. It's not the best value in the world, certainly, but we at least got something. I could even see possibly cutting Otepec Huntmaster. Switch Otepec Huntmaster with Drover of the Mighty. I hadn't quite considered that yet, but I could see that being pretty good. It would help cast something that isn't a dino, like Cultivate, that sort of thing. But just leaning more into the ramping. Let's protect it. They could have attacked with the Graveyard Trespasser, because definitely I am not going to block with Marauding Raptor. Pressure this Chandra here, because I do not want her to ultimate. Okay, it's looking up. We got some nice bodies. We got to 7 lands. So yeah, creature ramping, a little bit more ramping in general to turn on Topiary Stomper and Wayward Swordtooth as fast as humanly possible. Turn on that early pairing of both of those things. I think that would be very good. Leaning more towards that angle. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Alrighty. Topiary, Carnage. See how they block. Maybe. I was thinking I could potentially double block. Take out Carnage Tyrant there. No spell dinos. Oh. As long as some of the dinos do have interaction, there is Territorial Allosaurus from Dominaria, costs 2 and 2 green, and it has a kicker of 2 and a green. When it enters the battlefield, if the kicker cost was paid, you get a fight. That is lovely stuff. But as long as, yeah, some of the dinos can interact in any way, basically, yeah. Ooh, no spell dinos. You got the creative juices flowing there, Blue Bear. I think there's a pretty good chance I'm going to work on something that's no spell dinos for tomorrow night. That's rough, though. They got their own Topiary Stomper. Luckily, they don't have 7 lands quite yet, so Topiary, well, my Topiary, that's their Topiary, can't attack and block quite yet. I would love a Gishath coming up next turn. That, whew, at least seeing Gishath once tonight, that would be sweet. But yeah, no spell dinos. Ooh, I gotta work on that. Right after we're done here. Or maybe I'll just continue the stream and work on it live after this match, just for you guys. Actually, let's do that. Yes, actually, Blue Bear. There is a dino that board wipes, and I was considering it because it is white. Awakening Sun's Avatar. Hoo-wee. Yeah, gotta take out Gisha, unfortunately. Okay, alright, it's settled, Blue Bear. Paulo, anybody else watching right now or later on, we're going to do a live dino deck creation something or other for tomorrow night, so this is good. That is not good. Certainly Gisha. Actually, I'll throw that up for anybody that isn't quite familiar with her. If a creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it. At the beginning of your upkeep, put all creature cards exiled with Gisha Glorious Resurrector onto the battlefield. Ooh, that is nasty. So if they kill a bunch of our creatures, or a bunch of our creatures just die normally, they get them all back the following turn with Gisa? Gissa? Gisha? Close enough. One of those is likely right. That is pretty debilitating right there. Well, I definitely don't see myself coming back from that one. Yeah, I'm just going to jump into this new deck creation. Well, burn damage. Oh, 100%. There is a lot of potential with this. No spell dinos. There's going to be a lot of interesting things that you guys see that I've used a little bit in the past. What should I name it? Traditional Explorer, yes indeed. I don't know. What would you guys call it? I think it still could be DINOLAND because it's going to be lots of lands. It's lots of dinos. It's like a Jurassic Park where you go to see lots of dinos. That's all there is. No spell dinos? No spell blue, just because you came up with the name there. All right. So, any dino list? Sometimes I start with the mana base. Oftentimes I start with the creatures. We'll start with the creatures. Yeah, usually it's the mana base. In the past, it's been 22 lands, 23 lands. But with this, things might need to be tweaked a little bit more. Going to 26, 27, something like that. All right. Where is it? Okay. This Awakening Sun's Avatar, that would be an absolutely fantastic payoff. Imagine. Bam. You just have 4 copies. I could see myself having 4 copies of Awakening Suns here. Yeah, that would do the trick. Now it is fairly restrictive, needing 3 white. Oftentimes for any 3-color deck, that's going to be quite painful. But you got to keep in mind, we do have Secluded Courtyard. And its little brother, I guess you could say, Unclaimed Territory, just because Unclaimed Territory is slightly worse than Secluded here. But the pairing, because it is a tribal deck, really, that helps increase consistency. But also the fact that you would naturally be playing Awakening Sun's Avatar probably turn 5, maybe? Turn 6? A little bit later in the game. Very good chance by that point you do have some way to get those 3 sources of white. But, Storm's Wrath, yeah. Storm's Wrath, a little bit earlier on, supported by Awakening Sun's Avatar to continue to just mop the field, wipe the board of really anything that they were trying to do, but definitely taking out those Obnixilis and the other threats. Yes, indeed. Consider, though, Awakening Sun's Avatar, even if it's reduced by Marauding Raptor, coming down for 7. Math is hard. 7. Coming down for 7, so 7 for a 7/7. Fantastic. Even if they only have 1 creature, 2 creatures, that's still pretty fantastic value. Anything 2 and above, consider Awakening Sun's Avatar. 7 for a 7/7, destroy 2 creatures. But it's even better than that, potentially. And the entrance animation is just an absolute thing of beauty. It's this shadowy, stomping... It's a big dino stomp. Some of you guys may have seen it before, but we're going to see it tomorrow night. It's going to be good. Yeah. Just start off with that. Fantastic card. Now that is a good ramping payoff. That's going to reset things quite nicely. But yeah, Secluded Courtyard. Probably going to just add in Unclaimed Territory while I'm here. Storm's Wrath. That's not how you spell it. There we go. Good stuff. Now there could potentially be something else that hits Planeswalkers, but I think this is an absolutely fantastic catch-all to really take out pretty much anything that is giving us a headache. Yeah. And going a little bit slower. Maybe we don't have some of those early turn 2 plays. So there is a potential that there just isn't any creatures out that would die to Storm's Wrath. Say we go Cultivate turn 3, you know, Storm's Wrath the following turn 4. That would be good. But more dinos. Kinjali Sunwing could be a consideration, helping creatures our opponents control enter the battlefield tapped, but multiple copies very completely redundant. It's going to be Naya, definitely going to be Naya. But with Naya, there is the potential for Temple Altasaur. Plus, we could go Star of Extinction, the art that was used in tonight's thumbnail. Ooh, yeah. It's been a long time since I've done that. Oh, we could also go Solar Blaze. Now, Solar Blaze doesn't hit planeswalkers. Each creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. I don't think it's necessary because there's not things that are too much above 4 toughness, I imagine. Few and far between. So I think Storm's Wrath would pretty much do the job of Solar Blaze. Some things get big, unfortunately. But Boros, Naya Dinos, Solar Blaze could be a consideration. I've used it quite a bit in the past with Naya. I haven't actually tried a Solar Blaze Boros Dinos list, but I do like Solar Blaze. We'll keep it in mind. We'll put a pin in that. But we'll get back to the feature, the dinos. So yeah, I don't think anything else in white. Possibly Temple Altasaur, but that can be pretty not good. Not good at all. Especially if they don't have too many creatures. It's not a lot of damage-based removal. It can be kind of a dud, unfortunately. And you do want a second copy of Temple Altasaur because its ability, if a source would deal damage to another dinosaur you control. So Temple Altasaur, unfortunately, doesn't actually protect itself. You need 2 copies so they can protect each other, and you really make life miserable for some opponents. But it would be nice saving multiple dinos, only taking 1 damage from Storm's Wrath, something like that. But we want to ramp. Exiles cards. Deathcourt Scavenger, I think. That's what you're meaning? That would be good, yeah, for the graveyard strategies. Rakdos, Anvil seem to be quite popular tonight. I could see that. The only kind of unfortunate side with Death Gorge, it does oftentimes sit at 2 toughness, so dies to Bone Crusher. Trapjaw, yes. Death Gorge technically does exile cards from the graveyard, so slightly similar in that way, but yeah, I could see that actually. Something that would kind of help get rid of creatures, eventually leading to Awakenings. Oh, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We got Storm's Wrath, so it's a perfect pairing with Trapjaw Tyrant. Storm's Wrath would take out most things again. If anything's left over, Trapjaw would exile that big thing. Marauding, yep. Again, like I mentioned, I think we could not keep Huntmaster just because it's lots of ramping. Huntmaster does die quite easily. It is nice helping to cast Trapjaw, but ramping kind of does the same thing. Stable ramping with lands. We don't have to worry about Huntmaster getting burned, fried, killed, basically dying to a swift breeze. It's not as weak as Drover of the Mighty, who sometimes sits at a 1/1. But he does die. Yeah, Drover. I think with enough early dinos, there's a good chance he oftentimes sits at a 3/3. And he could help accelerate out a turn 3 Storm's Wrath. I would be not sad if Drover dies, if he enables that turn 3 Storm's Wrath there. So it could be good. I like that. Wouldn't be the end of the world, certainly. Now we could consider something like Burning Sun's Avatar. Haven't used it too much in the past, but again, dealing 3 damage to target opponent or planeswalker, and 3 damage to up to 1 target creature. Kind of a 2-for-1. The damage to a planeswalker, I guess potentially, could help take out Ob Nixilis, something like that, but chances are by the time we get to enough to play Burning Sun's Avatar, they may have an Ob Nixilis that's out of range. That is the famous, I guess you could say famous, Yidaro, Wandering Monster. Oh my goodness. I haven't used a list with him in quite some time. I did do a stream way back when, I think probably 2 months ago now. Goodness, it's hard to say. But I called it Yahoo Yidaro. I think some of you guys probably have seen it. Yeah, there is certainly something there. I don't know if this is the list for Yidaro. Oh, but if you can cycle this guy 4 times, it's going to be a headache. Yeah. More ramping stuff. They do suffer damage from Storm's Wrath, but certainly if you're using something like that, Ripjaw Raptor being at 5 toughness, Storm's Wrath dealing 4, that's a match made in heaven right there, I say. Oh, yeah, Topiary. Oh, I almost forgot to add the pairing of Topiary and Wayward. My goodness. That would not have been fun. Definitely don't need Regisaur, unfortunately. It still feels quite weird leaving this guy out. Let's see. Potentially we could add in Atzocan Seer, but I think some number of Cultivate actually would be good. Yeah. 24 lands. I definitely feel probably want at least 26, possibly 28 lands. I think I'll hold off on Galta. We got lots of big things. Awakening Suns, it's going to be good. Trapjaw. I would think enough. Maybe 1 copy of Galta. Yeah, 1 copy. Lots of decent sized stuff. Topiary and Wayward. Again, if they're not turned on, they do add to the total power, which would help cast Galta for a little bit cheaper. Oh, Fight Rigging. Oh, yes, indeed. I don't think I have too many copies of it. I may not have any copies of Fight Rigging. Thought I had at least 1. Could have sworn I had 1. There. Oh, yeah. That's all right. I think that's probably going to be the next thing I get. I do want to try out Fight Rigging quite thoroughly, certainly. 2 in a green, Hideaway 5. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, exile 1 face down. That would be good. Now the thing is, it wouldn't allow us to gain the benefit from Awakening Sun's Avatar because we have to cast Awakening Suns from our hand. So Fight Rigging wouldn't allow us to, well, it would get the Awakening Suns, but we wouldn't get the destroy all non-dinosaur creatures, unfortunately. 1 or 2 is amazing. Yeah, definitely. It could work with Trapjaw, yeah. I could see Trapjaw Tyrant being a better target than Awakening Sun's Avatar, just due to the fact you have to cast Awakening Suns from your hand. Yeah. You can exile any creature, well, any card that's in the top 5 there. And it works with any card, yes. You may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So it could be something really big. It could be Zacama. So we could actually see a turn 4 Zacama, maybe a turn 5 Zacama, due to fight rigging here. Ooh, that's good. That's got to be the next consideration. I mean, it could be any big spell, really. You just play it for free. So I think Dino's fight rigging there is 100%. There's something there. I don't have any rare wild cards, unfortunately, at the moment. Otherwise, we would try that, definitely. But one of these nights coming up soon. That's my target. Number 1. At least finish this playset, or get the whole playset of this, because I think multiple copies, that would be nice. But the mana base, we got to tweak that at the moment. Definitely don't need all those planes. Probably don't need any planes, now that I think about it. Yeah, 2 mountains, 6 forests. We got Cultivate, searching for basic lands, Topiary Stomper. So due to the fact there's 8 things that are looking to grab basics out of the library, something like 8, that should do the trick. Potentially could see myself increasing it a little bit further than that. But of course it's got to be Jetmir. The DINOLAND. Let's see. Stomping Ground, I think. Yep. Yeah, I think probably 4 more lands. 2 to 4 more lands at least. Be super rampy. Trapjaw. Maybe 1 copy of Trapjaw. Definitely. I love Awakening Sun's avatar completely. Oftentimes being one-sided board wipe. That's going to be important. Devastating. Hopefully in a lot of cases. 1 Cultivate. 1 Wayward. Again, I kind of like Cultivate a little bit better than Wayward sometimes. Just because you may not always be getting that benefit from playing an additional land each turn, especially if you don't have too many in your hand. So it can feel kind of painful in that regard. Cultivate, always, at the very least, you're going to be grabbing lands. Topiary, hopefully, you're always grabbing lands from both of those. So yeah, I can cut 1 copy, make a little bit more space that way. Ooh, yeah, Rootbound. That would be quite safe. We've got 8, 14, 16 lands that would help Rootbound Crag come into play on tap. Definitely. That's enough in my books for Rootbound. We'll try it with 26. Try it with 26. I may up it to 28, something like that, but we got to flesh out the sideboard now. I almost forgot. Yes, 100% Blue Bear. You read my mind. There is no DINOLAND. I got to turn that off. Alrighty. Where you at, Shifting? Good buddy. Oh, I almost missed Rampaging Ferocidon. Always for that life gain stuff. Death Gorge. Yep. Graveyard things. Actually, maybe take out 1 Death Gorge, and we do that Weathered Runestone that Misty suggested. Definitely, that is... no, I'm going to go Fry. So Fry, taking out Greasefang, Winota, a white or blue Planeswalker, can't be countered. Some Greasefang decks cheating out the big vehicle. They are Esper colored, so white, black, and blue, and they do have counter spells, which actually we did see last night. So something that can't be countered and stopping the big thing that the deck is trying to do for 2. It's always lovely, especially if we are on the draw. They're on the play, so they have their turn 3 first. It is good having an option or the potential of being able to do something with our first 2 lands in case they do go off turn 3. It doesn't always happen, but being covered a little bit safer with something like Fry. Yeah, I think that's going to be important. Make it look more visually appealing. All right, we got Fry, we got Rampaging. I think that's looking good. Oh, 100%. Technically, it could be a dinosaur leg. I feel like it may be a chicken, but it could be a dinosaur. I don't know. I'm gonna go with dinosaur just because lots of dinosaurs do have feathers. Death Gorge, hey, it could be a Death Gorge scavenger that was born with white feathers, perhaps an albino Death Gorge. Yeah. Although it couldn't target Death Gorge. Like a raptor, yeah. Alright, I think that should do it. Oh my goodness, look at this. If they have creatures, well, they're not going to have creatures with Storm's Wrath, Awakening Suns now. I think we do have enough sources of red. I've got to pause for a second, mainly due to the fact there's Storm's Wrath there. It's not a dino, so Secluded Courtyard, Unclaimed Territory, can't help cast the 2 red that's needed. Yes, it's looking pretty solid, very exciting, but I think with Jetmirs, so that's 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I'll go 4 and 4 just to make sure the red sources are as consistent as possible to get this Storm's Wrath here. I think that that should be good. 4 and 4. We got 12 ways to get a source of white and Drover the Mighty. Again, that's going to help increase consistency of Trapjaw Tyrant, Awakening Suns, Storm's Wrath. Well, I guess it is 1 spell. I'll still call it no spell blue, but just because we did add in Cultivate there and Storm's Wrath, it's almost no spell. We'll leave it at that, but yeah. Tomorrow's list. This is going to be good. Actually, you know what? Let's try it out once. Just for you guys. Sticking around now. Ooh. This could be interesting. No blue spells? Well, that also sounds good, yeah. I could add in Nezahul, Primal Tide, the blue Elder Dino, but I just got to try this at least once. Hopefully we don't stumble too much. But I got lots of early ramp. Marauding Raptor for the cost reduction, Drover the Mighty to ramp, Cultivate, Wayward Swordtooth, Topiary Stomper. I don't see any scenario where we're not casting some big stuff very, very early on. Hopefully that Awakening Suns. Would be nice to see it with this game here. Jose. Oh, going first. Good stuff. Kind of hit and miss. We do have 2 sources of green, so we would be able to go with Topiary Stomper. I would like to see something for 2. Definitely, I don't need 2 Awakening Suns Avatar, I think. I'll mulligan. Okay, that. I think that is a lot better. Pretty much infinitely. Gonna send Drover to the bottom just due to the fact that eventually he would die to Storm's Wrath, and I don't know if they have a lot of creatures. Hey, more Rakdos. At the very least, we'll be getting hopefully 1 Cultivate here. Thoughtseize is good stuff. Oh. Yeah, Wayward Swordtooth. If he can stick around, that is going to be absolutely lovely next turn. Especially if we draw land, we'd be able to play it, play Cultivate, get another land, play the land that Cultivate put. Oh, yes, indeed. My goodness, this is what you come here for. Play land, play the second. Oh my. Okay, this is, well, you asked for ramp, I asked for ramp, and that's pretty good. 6, 8 lands by turn 4. Hopefully we get that Storm's Wrath. I mean, Rekindling Phoenix is going to be kind of rough. But we will be able to attack with Wayward Swordtooth, though. We will not be able to attack with Wayward Swordtooth, though. Trapjaw Tyrant, something. We'll be able to pretty much freely attack them. They won't want to block with probably anything unless they can kill Trapjaw Tyrant. But the Storm's Wrath would be lovely. Trapjaw would be able to exile the token that is made by the Rekindling Phoenix there. This elemental token that brings the Phoenix back if it's surviving. Hopefully Trapjaw is enough of a threat. We're not quite dead yet. Okay, we are kind of getting dead. Might have something that deals 2 damage, the classic stomp. Chandra will do it. That's alright, but you did see the brief flash of brilliance there. Man, that was a lot of lands. That was good. I still feel like maybe Death Gorge Scavenger isn't really needed too much. It's more Rakdos mid-range, kind of Rakdos control, that sort of thing. But they're really looking at stuff there. I saw them mousing over quite a few cards. They could have Dreadhorde Arcanist, Anger of the Gods. Well, yeah, I could see Anger of the Gods for the Izzet deck being good. I'll keep it as is. Hopefully getting a Trapjaw Tyrant a little bit earlier, making a menacing threat if they can't kill it by blocking it. It's effectively unblockable because they wouldn't want to stop it with one little creature. Oh, it looked like Izzet. Yes, Rakdos. Hey, that's lots of ramp. I can work with that. Hopefully it's not that classic fantastic turn 1 Thoughtseize. Oh, we got Marauding. This is looking up. But again, if they can't kill Trapjaw Tyrant with multiple creatures, multiple blocking, he is unblockable, which is pretty fantastic. Well, you know, that's bound to happen. Yeah, we'll go with Topiary. If I had a Wayward Swordtooth, I definitely would have done that. Yeah, some way to get a little bit more. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Well, speaking of more card draw, I think that was meant to be. The deck heard your call, Blueberry. Oh, and we got the Storm's Wrath. Well, we don't have 2 sources of red, unfortunately, but we'll get that next turn, 100% with Cultivate there. Or Topiary Stomper. Ooh, I think they're going to get rid of... hard to say. Oh, okay. Good stuff. Now the question is... I'm going to have it enter tapped. Get Cultivate just so we get to 7 lands. Be able to attack with Topiary Stomper here. And just cause some headaches for him. Interesting. Okay, so they can't tap the Blood Tithe Harvester. If they could, tap it, sacrifice it to take something out. I'd probably block the Graveyard Trespasser instead, but he's not able to be tapped to sacrifice him and have target creature get -X/-X. Yeah, Blood Tithe. They see Storm's Wrath, so they don't really want to play Omnixilis, really any creatures. So I think that's actually working out as a pretty good deterrent if they do have a bunch of creatures in hand. I think Blue Bear with the combo of Marauding Raptor, pinging Ripjaw to get some card draw, but also Storm's Wrath, pinging Ripjaw. That's some decent card draw right there. There are some other options to consider, so I think, yeah, like you say, a little bit more card draw. I don't think we should be dead here. Might be slightly close. Hopefully, Awakening Sun's Avatar next turn. That would be a lovely thing indeed.
Out of my way. I have a wedding to stop. You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
Right. They have to kill Marauding Raptor, or else we may kill them. Ooh, the good old Noxious Grasp. Yeah. That's okay. We're not quite dead yet. Oh, 100%. The heck. I got it. The card of cards that I was hoping for. There we go. Bam. You see the animation. Let's go. Bam. Bam. I can't say bam enough. Alrighty. Do I care about Sorin? Nah. Let's go for the face. Hopefully finish him off next turn. 7-7 to be. Even if we lose this match, you guys, you saw that animation. The stomping. The sound effect. I can't hear the sound effect actually because I don't have speakers. I don't want the sound to interact with my microphone. But we saw it. I was a little worried just drawing lands and lands and lands. But you run that risk. Having so many, 26 at the moment, sometimes you can get flooded, unfortunately. Maybe we get another Awakening Sun's Avatar. Ooh. Oh, Trapjaw Tyrant, yes please. I could see cards that allow us to search for a creature, search for a big creature, potentially. The question is, who do I want to take out? Kroxa? Yeah. Yeah, Kroxa. Righty. Now or never. Here goes nothing. We still potentially could be dead. They can play Chandra, do 2. They got Hiva the Eye Tyrant as well. We'll see what Chandra gets them.
You and I are gonna take him out. This'll be easy.
Oh, we got him, I think. Bam. Whew. I was saying there's a lot of Rakdos. There certainly has been a lot of Rakdos tonight. So we took a game from them. Hopefully we take both of them. But that certainly feels like it's kind of onto something. But going back to your comment there, Blue Bear, could be more card draw, but also searching for something specific. I do have to... Oh, nice win. It was fantastic. I do have a card just for you that is shared summons. Anybody else may not have known it, may have forgotten about it. I think it was from M20. But I think shared summons is going to be absolutely a fantastic thing. It's 3 and 2 green, so with a ramping focus list like this, very easy to get. Instant speed. Search your library for 2 creatures with different names and put them into your hand. Oh, that would be absolutely lovely, fantastic, hard to top. I could search for Awakening Sun's Avatar plus a Wayward Swordtooth, you know, and it is instant speed, so we can do it at the end of the opponent's turn. Always lovely to have that potential. Have those cards for our turn, our next turn. I think it's got to be Topiary. Oh, that I don't have 2 red. It's got to be Topiary to get that second source of red. I could see us probably casting Storm's Wrath next turn. And any 2 dinos you want at instant speed for 3 and 2 green. Shared summons. That seems like the perfect thing for this, especially with key cards like Awakening Sun's Avatar that I really might be hoping to draw. Things are dragging on. It's just not coming together quite. You know what? I'll go with Marauding plus Wayward. Potentially Marauding helping to get an earlier Awakening Sun's Avatar. Of course, Marauding could be quite easily dead with a Fatal Push, something like that. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Tomorrow night, shared summons. I'll play around with numbers and stuff, but I think that's definitely the card I'm looking for. Or something else, at least, that searches for a dino, or perhaps just a creature that costs a lot, something like Awakening Sun's Avatar. There are a couple cards. Fierce Empath, yes. It's an elf from M20, I believe. Right, well, certainly going to block this token since Marauding Raptor is going to die next turn anyways. Might as well. Play that Bone Crusher. You know you wanna. Thank you. Alrighty. Storm's Wrath. I knew it would come in handy, and that was pretty handy. Yes, indeed. Play another one. Oh. Oh, I don't have another copy in hand of Storm's Wrath. This is getting way, way out of control. Whatever am I gonna do? Kill him. That's what I'm gonna do. I think that was right. I was considering playing Trapjaw there instead of Storm's Wrath to get extra benefit from it whenever Trapjaw is pinged, but Storm's Wrath was already going to take out any creatures they had. 24 now. I could see 24 still being a decent amount. Maybe dropping some copies of Wayward Swordtooth down to 2 again, like you suggested. 2 Cultivate, 2 Wayward Swordtooth, but I think I definitely want to keep the full number of Cultivate. Maybe not. Maybe cut 2 Cultivate, 2 Wayward Swordtooth for shared summons for the full play set of it. I like the sounds of that. I'm sitting at 7 right now, so if we get another land, we would be able to play Awakening Sun's Avatar next turn. Well, Well, it's not another land, but definitely it's got to be Trapjaw Tyrant. Could have attacked with the Drover, but again, the Rekindling Phoenix was going to come back when they likely traded with each other. That's okay. Well, I mean, would have been nice getting Awakening Suns next turn. Trapjaw's going to be a pretty good deterrent, pretty good attacker. Hopefully, getting something that can take out Rekindling, because that might be enough of a clock. We got Trapjaw and Ripjaw, though. Lots of jaws, lots of biting, lots of teeth. So that might be enough. We got 3 turns before the single Rekindling Phoenix kills us. I don't think they want to go with Castle Lochtwain. They draw a card and lose life equal to the number of cards in their hand. That, currently, with Trapjaw and Ripjaw, they don't want to take any damage, any more damage than they have to, I imagine. Yeah, I think I may tweak it to 24 lands. We could also turn on, well, we will. Hopefully. Yes. We turn on Wayward Swordtooth next turn. I don't think they can afford to attack with the Phoenix. Ooh, okay, we gotta get something good, something big. Could that do it? Nuts. It's not gonna do it. We've turned on Wayward Swordtooth, but Graveyard Trespasser only has to block one of the 3 creatures that I would attack with. And Rekindling Phoenix will take us out, unfortunately. That's okay. 1 away from Awakening Suns would have helped out immensely. Or another Storm's Wrath, of course. Huh. That was very interesting. I think that worked out pretty good. Still some tweaking. Certainly. Actually, I'll pull up shared summons for you. For anybody that's interested. You may have brought it up yourself at already. But we'll take a quick look. I haven't really used it too much. Probably only a couple times. Maybe only once, but yeah. 3 and 2 green, instant speed from M20. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards. I don't see why you'd ever search your library for 1. But yeah, search your library for 2 creature cards with different names. Reveal them. That's not too bad. Put them into your hand and then shuffle. Yeah, I think that's where it's at. Maybe not the full play set. Maybe just 3, 2. But it would help. Definitely. Alright, we'll leave it there. You saw the list that, well, mostly the list that I'll use tomorrow. Lots of ramp, lots of killing things. Storm's Wrath. Sometimes can do the trick against Rakdos, but still some tweaking. A little bit with the early cards. Maybe trimming some Wayward Swordtooth. It's going to be a good time. We saw Awakening Sun's avatar at least once, so that was good. All right, Blue Bear, Paulo, anybody else? Dylan, Draco, Fry. Man, lots of you guys watching. Hopefully you have a good night. If you're watching right now or later on, remember there is always room for improvement. There's always room for fun. We don't always stomp them, but we'll always tweak things, try and do better than we did before, and we will get it done. Eventually, we'll crush them with some fantastic dinos and some humans thrown in there, some wolves, that sort of thing. So hopefully you guys have a good night, good morning. See you next time. Oh, very spicy Blue Bear. You said it.